Hello. Hey, let's see if this is working now. Oh, possibly. Can you hear me? I don't know. My mic is deciding to not work. And so I'm just gonna turn it off. We'll use the webcam mic, so I might sound a little far away. Sorry about that if that's not great. And there we go. That is off, that is off. It looks like sound is picking up, so holler at me if you can't hear anything. Welcome to some yoga with Janelle. I am Janelle, and Friday nights is our Yin Yang night, kind of in honor of the studio I primarily work at, Lahari. We would do a Yin Yang class taught by another instructor, and then afterwards we would have wine and snacks and appies and all kinds of just social connection. And it was actually really beautiful. It was one of my favorite classes to try to make it out to. And so I'm carrying on that tradition. So Yin Yang class tonight, even have a beverage. So cheers to our Friday. Hopefully you're having a great day. If just celebrating a bit of the weekend. I don't know if you guys are still keeping a steady Monday to Friday schedule. Maybe you're still working and it's pretty easy to keep that regular schedule, or maybe you are working from home and because you're doing reduced hours throughout the day, you're adding in some work on Saturdays to make up for it. However your schedules are working out, I hope that it's been a great week so far. Beautiful last couple of days. Weather-wise, at least I've been enjoying a little bit more time in the sun. Hoping to this evening get out on the deck. And so before we dive into some yoga, I wanted to just chat. So a couple of days ago, I asked about time frames and what worked best for everyone. Then it looks like everyone can join in live a little bit better for more of a morning style of yoga. So I'm just debating if I start right at 8 a.m. or if I do 8:15. I haven't been a morning person for months now. I've had the luxury of doing more of the later evening. My husband has been working from 3 to 11 in the afternoon or evening, and so we would spend the mornings together. And now he's going back on days. And so yeah, we'll try to make it work. I think I'll do right at 8 just to keep the time really easy, and I will just force myself to transition over. So that'll be starting on Monday. So Monday, 8 a.m. opposed to 8 p.m. We'll try it bright and early, get a little movement in, start our day out nice, and go from there. So, I almost didn't do it again. Okay. Hey everyone, looks like, okay, I made it work. We're good. Welcome to some evening yoga with Janelle, our Yin Yang Friday night. And sorry, this is a little later. I couldn't get my mic to work, so if I sound really far away, it's because I'm using my webcam mic, which is it's a decent mic, but it's made to be more of like the 3 to 4 feet away, and I am about 12 feet away, so we're stretching things that way. But let's get into some yoga this evening. I was just chatting about how my studio that I primarily work at, I'm trying to work at a couple, but with COVID, we'll see how that works out. My primary studio does a Friday night Yin Yang class, which is just phenomenal. 75 minutes, warm temperature, just a bit of bliss. So that is what inspired this, but what I'm taking for inspiration this evening is that we would also do a little bit of wine and some snacks afterwards, or really even bubbly. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. So I've got a little beverage to cheers to my yoga studio. Thank you for being awesome. I hope that once all of this is over, we can come back and thrive and be a little tribe together again. So really quite wonderful. So cheers. Excellent. So yeah, if you're just joining in, we're going to do some nice and easy yoga this evening. I think Thursday night is the hardest class I teach, and I celebrate on Fridays by teaching the easiest. Friday and Mondays, easy yoga days. Let it feel excellent and wonderful. Was that Donna? Are you making it live, Donna? Good job. Way to go. Yeah, and so, Donna Sini reminds me. So I think I am going to go with switching my time of yoga for the live at least to 8 a.m. A couple more people can join in. Works pretty good. Rewatching is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of the rewatch. But being able to do it live makes me feel a little bit more connected. And so looking for a little bit of that connection, that feedback just kind of makes me feel a little more connected with the world. So yes, I will do a couple posts. I will announce that really good, but I thought I'd let you know first, those people who joined me live on the Friday night. Also, quite possibly no video tomorrow night. I've got a Zoom call that I think will overlap into the time frame. And so just to keep some other things pumping and going in my life, no yoga Saturday evening, but we will be here, or I will be here Sunday night at 8 p.m. To do our last evening class. So yeah, that's what's going on. Let's dive in, get a little bit of movement in, get a little bit of stretch in. Let's just start. I'm going to start seated. You're welcome to start laying down. We will eventually get down onto our backs, but I don't know, just sitting here feels really nice. And so my hands are relaxed, just hanging out on my knees. Let's find some length. So even if you're laying down, see if you can tuck that chin and extend along through the crown of the head. Imagine just growing by a millimeter or two. Roll those shoulders back and down, drop those shoulders. And notice how even just by changing our posture, we can start to change maybe our mentality, our mindset, how we're responding. We're in that more relaxed state, even just physically, and that is starting to tell the brain, hey, things are okay. We can relax. Parasympathetic nervous system starts getting triggered, and we can accentuate that more with our breath. So by taking that nice, big, slow inhale, really fill the lungs nice and deep, and exhale, nice big sigh, let it out. And taking a couple of those nice big breaths. I'll let you breathe at your own pace, but really feel that inhale, feel the length of the breath, really feel the lung, fill the lungs as much as you can, and then start to breathe into that abdomen, breathing into that deep belly, breathing that big Buddha breath. See, even if you place a hand on the heart and a hand on the abdomen, first of all, tell yourself you're beautiful, because I think oftentimes whenever I've come into this position, it is really hard. And it is okay. And so just take a little moment for a little self-love. And then the purpose of this is to feel the breath. So we want to feel the inhale. It's probably going to start with this top hand, right on that sternum area, right below the throat. And that inhale starts to fill. See how you can lift through the heart. And then as you continue to breathe, it's almost like you're pushing that bottom hand out, coming into a nice giant inhale and a nice slow exhale, really letting it go nice and soft. Maybe you notice your heart start to sink first, or the abdomen start to retract first. And so just becoming aware of how that exhale works. Are you breathing, exhaling, releasing from the top all the way down, or are you doing from the bottom all the way up? There's no right or wrong way to do it. I think it's just fun to notice how you'll naturally start to do it. My preference is the exhale, releasing from the bottom, finishing all the way out to the top. I think that's a very visual representation. But some people prefer the other way, because as you exhale, you can use that exhale to start to engage through the core, really to set the body nice and strong. So if you're finishing up here in your throat, then you've got to refocus back down to that abdomen area. So it's just kind of fun to play around with. Let's take a couple of more of those big breaths so that we can really start to notice how we're breathing. A nice big inhale. Nice slow full exhale, trying to get every last sip of air out of the lungs, almost like you're trying to force the last little bit out. And then start to take another big inhale breath. So feeling that nice connection, starting to feel really soft and gentle. I'm going to release my hands. Hands are just going to hang out on my knees. If you're laying down, hands can just be by the sides. And let's take a couple more nice big inhales. If you'd like to set an intention for our time together, for our class, feel free to set that now. Maybe connecting in with a little goal, a purpose. Feel that softening. Start to notice what you're noticing. Are you noticing the physical? Are you distracted by things you need to do? Are you noticing the mental, the emotional? Maybe you're really stressed or anxious. I was anxious right before this. I'm not too sure why, just thinking about things I can't control. I feel a lot better now, so that's really good. All right, let's start to awaken the body, take a little bit of movement, wiggle into fingers and toes. I am just covered in dog hair and dust, so if you see me picking at my leggings, it's just because my dog is shedding. And there's a little bit of hair all over the place. I can't seem to get rid of it all. So that's my routine for waking up, I guess. Rubbing my legs, getting the blood flow there. I can make it yoga. All right, if you're laying down, start to work your way up to a seated position. Or if you're standing or seated in a chair, let's work our way down. Let's sit nice and tall. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle, feeling into those sits bones. Roll shoulders back and down. And a couple of nice big inhale breaths using the arms. Reach it up. And hands to heart center. So we'll take 5 of these big breaths right off the bat here to reach up and pull the hands down. You can take them as little as you want, maybe just moving into the shoulders, or you can really reach up, look up, bend through the back, exhale, pull the hands down, maybe you take that little bow. So starting to feel all of that movement with the breath. I think I've got one more here to make it 5. Reaching up, pull the hands down, press into the hands. Nice and strong. Roll and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Really press into the hands. Feel that activation through the biceps, through the triceps. Exhale and release hands down onto the knees. Roll shoulders back and down. And we're going to come in just to a nice gentle forward fold. So maybe you just rest elbows on knees. Maybe you do so, rest the head down. Maybe you start to walk the hands forward and start to feel where that feels really good on the hips and on the low back. Somewhere here you'll start to feel that stretch into that low back area. And that's where we want the money shot to be. So I'm reaching my hands. That little pull sensation is what's helping me have that nice release. I can feel also, so I've got my left leg on top here. I can feel more pull through my left side of the hip. And as you're hanging out here, you can drop the head down. If you want, you can even release the hands, bring the hands to the low back. Maybe give yourself a nice little massage. Just keep reaching forward. All right, let's start to come up nice and slow. Excellent. All right, let's switch through the feet. Opposite foot on top or in front. Just working with that non-dominant side. Roll those shoulders back and down. Let's inhale just to sweep it up. Reach up nice and tall. Keep reaching up. Pull those low ribs in. Roll the shoulders back and down. And let's come into a nice gentle twist. So twisting towards the left or towards your favorite side. Doesn't really matter. Find where that edge is, so you're squeezing into that abdomen. Drop the hands down just wherever they would naturally fall, kind of in line with the shoulders. Inhale, get really tall, and then exhale. Let's see if we can twist a little deeper. So just using my core strength, I'm not really twisted that deep. I know I can go a lot more, but I have the length. So I'm just squeezing through my core. I'm rolling left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Twisting oh so much more. Like now I can almost gaze at my windows. Feeling that huge twist all the way through the spine. Maybe the neck goes over the shoulder. Inhale, let's see if you can get a little taller. Exhale, see if you could twist maybe a little bit deeper. Feeling that huge twist. All right, let's slowly start to release. And coming back towards neutral. Excellent. Sit nice and tall as inhale. Sweep those arms up. Reach up nice and tall. Oh, feels so good. And find that length. Pull those low ribs in and feel that nice squeeze as we start to twist towards the right. Nicely twist. See how far you can really squeeze that core on your own. And drop the hands down wherever they'd like to fall. Inhale, get as tall as possible. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Maybe you're pressing into those hands. You can adjust the hands as you need. Feeling that huge squeeze all across the middle. Maybe you gaze over that back shoulder. Find that nice huge twist. All the length in that spine. Let's take one more nice big inhale breath and get as tall as possible. And exhale, twist, maybe that millimeter deeper. Outstanding. Nice and slow. Let's start to release, coming back towards that center line. Excellent. Let's inhale, sweep it up, reach nice and tall. Reach, reach, reach. Feel that nice reset in the spine. You can interlace the fingers and flip the palms upward if that feels good for you. Finding that extra bit of stretch and length. Then exhale, pull the hands to heart. Bring the hands just in that heart center, pressing in, squeeze those shoulder blades, press into those hands nice and active all the way through, and take that nice bow forward and coming into your forward fold. So finding that sweet spot on what feels good on that hip, what feels good on the low back. Maybe you reach the hands, maybe you drop the head. If you want, you can give that nice little back a nice little massage. I like doing the little thumb knuckles right along the spine. Excellent. Reach those hands forward, really melt down. Drop the head. Press in. Let's start to come up back to that nice seated position. Excellent. And extend the left leg nice and long. So I'm going to mirror you. My right leg is going out. You extend your left leg. Hopefully that'll make a little more sense as you're watching it. And odds are leaning over towards one side. So plant down both sits bones. Press in. Activate into that left foot. So toes go up towards the ceiling. Maybe you extend through the heel, flexing through the foot a little bit. Or even just keeping the foot and the leg nice and active. Excellent. Sweep those arms up. Reach up. Nice and tall. Find all over that length. And then exhale over towards the left. And coming in. You can drop that hand down. Maybe the elbow rests in. Maybe you reach hand down the leg. Maybe you reach for those toes. If you're kind of crumpling into that, that's okay. If you want to touch both hands towards the toes, you can. But I want to get more of a side bend stretch happening here. So if you're feeling tons here, great. Or let's start to roll right shoulder open. Maybe reaching that arm up and then overhead. You can take a couple of nice little pulses here. And if you need that extra bit of movement, or you can enjoy the stillness. If you can't reach your toes, that's fine. You can still do this exact same movement and not touching your toes. All right, let's inhale, sweep it up. Reach both arms up, really extend long. Then let's reach over towards the other side. So left arm reaches up overhead, right arm plants down. Maybe you hang out, pressing into the palm of the hand. Maybe you walk that a little farther. Maybe you really come down onto forearm. At some point, that hip's probably going to lift up. Try to resist that press. That left sits bone back in. Maybe you have to come up a little more to do so. Keep reaching. Left arm up overhead. Excellent. Inhale, sweep all the way up. So we've opened up through both sides. Reach the arms up and over towards the other side again. So you can drop that hand down. Maybe you notice you can come a little bit deeper. Maybe you're reaching for those toes. You can enjoy the stillness. Change the gaze upward. Maybe you notice that arm. See if you could open it up. Maybe reach a little more. Beautiful. See if you can stay nice and relaxed. Release those shoulders. Don't have them hunching up by the ear. And let's come all the way back up. Nice arms out wide to a T. Plant your right hand down. So option for most gentle is just reaching left hand up overhead, or you can adjust pressing into that knee, coming up, sweep it up. Reach left arm up. You can take a couple of nice circles with that arm. Really pressing the hips forward. If you want a little more through that leg. Starting to feel this nice little gate pose, just a little baby gate. If your arms going around one way, switch and go the other. Reach it up nice and tall. And exhale, let's sit back down. On towards those sits bones. Beautiful. All right, come into the other side. Right leg goes out long. Left toes pull in. Feel those sits bones. Planting down nice and equal. I like the little cushion of my mat on the heel. All right, let's inhale. Reach those arms up. Nice big stretch. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale over towards the right. Maybe you drop that bottom arm down. Maybe you pulse it out. Feel that nice big stretch. Trying to find that openness through the top shoulder, rolling it back. I'm reaching for opposite knee, just because this side feels like it wants it. So we'll try it out. We'll play with it. All right, let's inhale, reach both arms up. Nice and tall, still active through those right toes. And coming into the other side, so reaching over, pressing in. Oh yeah, this side feels way easier to find some more depth. Maybe that's just my body today. If you're noticing that right sits bones floating up, see if you can anchor it back in. Find all of that length through the ribs. Let it feel really good. Nice big inhale. And exhale, let it go. Press into that bottom hand. Start to come on back up. All the way, reach nice and tall. Then come on over towards the right. You can reach that hand down. Reaching up overhead. Just one more time on this side. Letting it feel really good. Make sure those shoulders aren't hunching up by the ears. Outstanding. My right side is my tight side, so this feels way harder, I guess, for me, because I'm mirroring you. So it's okay for one side to be different from the other. All right, let's come on back up. Reach out nice and tall. Reach those arms out wide like a T. Plant left hand down. Right arm starts to come up. Maybe press into that bottom hand. Lifting those sits bones up. Reaching up. Maybe you press the hips forward. Take some nice arm circles. Warming up a little bit more through those shoulders. Maybe go the other way. Nice and around. Let it feel really good. You'll feel that sweet spot. So if you need to stop somewhere to stretch it out, by all means, work it out. Reach up nice and tall. Then exhale, making your way back down onto your seat. Beautiful. Oh, that was good. Let's bring both knees in. Sitting nice and tall, maybe hugging on to those knees. Notice, are you slouching here? Can we keep finding that length? Keep pulling that belly button in towards the core. Feeling that low back start to activate. Let's tuck the hands in underneath. Maybe you're grasping on. Maybe you walk those heels in a little closer. Maybe you come up onto tippy toes. Lift through the heart. Roll those shoulders back and down. Excellent. See if you can float onto those sits bones. Sitting, just hanging out here, just sitting on the sits bones. Core is not really doing a whole lot. We're just feeling like stretch. We're lifting through the heart. Back is nice and straight. And then if you want more, start to release through the legs. Maybe bring the hands to the front of the knees. Really roll those shoulders back and down. So maybe you're hanging out here. Maybe take a little sway from side to side. If you want more, hands go to the outside of the knees, feeling that little press core is a little more engaged here. And then from here, you can play around with the feet. Maybe you bring left foot up, pointing through the toes, and down. Right foot up, and down. Both up. Nice 90 degrees. Lift through that heart. No hunching through the spine. If you want more here, that's where you can release those hands. Feel that core really engage. Lift through that heart. See if you can draw it up a little bit more. Pull those inner thighs in. Really activate. Excellent. Reach for the knees. Plant the feet down. Beautiful. All right. Let's make our way into our all fours position, into our tabletop position. So rolling around, and stacking shoulders and wrists, knees and hips. Taking just a couple quick cat-cow breaths. I don't know why I say quick here. They're never quick for me. So looking up, dropping the belly down. Exhale, start to tuck the chin. Start the movement from the top of the spine and roll it all the way down towards the bottom. Maybe you press extra into those hands, really arching through the spine. Come on back. Nice. Cow, drop that belly down. Maybe press into those hands, flattening out through the shoulder blades, finding that extra bit of length. Tuck the chin, roll it, roll it, roll it, right from the top all the way down. Pressing nice and strong. And make your way to a nice neutral position. So finding that nice flat back. Shoulders are flat, so they're open up towards the side. Maybe even the eyes of the elbows point forward. Beautiful tabletop position. Excellent. And let's send our right toes back. Touch them down. In a moment, take that little calf stretch as if you're pedaling it out. Or pulsing the heel back. And find your stillness. Walk the left fingertips forward. Pressing firm into right hand, left knee. Engage the core, pull that belly button in. And start to float the foot up. Once you feel stable here, float the hand up. Reach, reach, reach. So the chin is tucked. The point of this here is that natural traction. So kick out through the heel, maybe a little extra. Reach through those fingertips, more, more, more. Feel all of that space being created across the little body. Excellent. Really reach. Keep holding here. Feel that engagement. Feel maybe that strength. Feel that tension. And exhale. Drop the hand. And drop the knee. Take a gentle little sway from side to side. Coming to stillness. Press into those hands, nice and strong. Find that nice flat back. Beautiful. Send left toes back. Get that nice little stretch on. Trying to get that heel down. Just a nice stretch through the Achilles, through the calf. Excellent. Come to stillness. Press firm into the left hand, right knee. Walk right fingertips forward. Engage through the core and pull that belly button in. Start to float the leg up. Start to reach the hand up. Nice and strong. Tuck the chin. Reach through those fingers. Kick through that heel. Feel that nice line across the body, right from fingertips across the arms, going across the back to the hip, down through the leg, out through the heel. Keep reaching. A little more. Excellent. Drop hand down. Drop that knee. Gentle sway. Side to side. Beautiful. And come to stillness. Press into those hands. Excellent. So walk those hands forward. Getting ready to come down onto our front. So if you want the little mini chaturanga to get there, we can do so, or you can just lower down however you want. So coming into that low plank position, maybe you dial the hands out nice and strong and lower down with control. Elbows grease the ribs. Little pause, and then come all the way down. Untuck the toes. And still hands underneath the shoulder blades. Elbows nice and pulled in. Excellent. Nice big inhale breath. Start to look up. Press into that pelvis. Little baby cobra here. So we're not really pushing too much into the hands. We're just feeling that activation through the spine. Extend long through the crown of the head. Maybe even float the feet up ever so slightly to feel that pelvis pressing in. You can bring the connection back down. And then as you're ready for more, you can start to press into those hands and coming into a stronger back bend. So maybe you press up a little bit more, maybe a little bit more, coming into your full cobra. If you're feeling tons of that squeeze through the low back and you're not liking it, then ease off. Maybe come down a little bit. Then you can press up a little more if you're looking for more. Feel that huge back bend. Now roll those shoulders away from the ears. See if you can extend through the crown of the head a little more. Like you're lifting the heart, trying to push the heart forward. Beautiful. Feels so good. Huge back bend here. Really feeling all of that mobility through the spine. Excellent. Let's lower down as slow as possible. Just feel the body melt in towards the mat. Feel like you're sinking in towards the ground. You can stack palm over palm or make little fists to bring that head equally down. Pressing into that forehead, that third eye position. If you want, you can bend through the knees. Give them a nice little shake to release. Outstanding. Release through the legs. Bring the feet back down. Excellent. Let's come into our Sphinx pose. And so we're bringing those elbows underneath the shoulders. So it might be a little bit easier for you to enjoy that back bend without trying to hold the body weight in through the hands and the arms. Roll those shoulders away from the ears just like we did. Still try to press that heart forward. So it's a subtle little movement, but I can just hang out here, or I can just press and find that extra couple of inches of length. Keep pressing in towards that pelvis. Beautiful. Maybe the palms come pressing in towards the floor. You can even create that little bit of a pull sensation, pulling the body forward. Just feeling how that feels for the lengthening. I really like it. So one of actually my favorite things to add in is that gentle little pull forward. Beautiful. Let's start to get into the hips a little bit more. So start with my right side so you can see nice and easy coming into that crocodile or half frog pose. And so start to walk that right knee out towards the side. You've got a really sticky mat like me, it might be a little hard. So trying to make that nice 90 degrees with the foot. So trying to bring the ankle in line with the knee and trying to flatten both hips down towards the ground. So odds are that right hip is rolling up as the foot is out. That's normal and natural, but we're trying to find that length there, feeling all of that stretch through the right hip. Excellent. For more intensity, bring the knee up a little bit more. You'll notice that you'll ease over onto that left side a little more. See if you can keep finding that balance. Keep lengthening it out. And still lifting through the heart. Still keeping all of that nice engagement, maybe through the arms. Nice big inhale. Nice full exhale. So usually for our Yin Yang classes, I take a little bit of movement, a little bit of flow, and then we settle into some of these longer holds. But I thought I'd do tonight completely just nice and gentle. No real big movements, all tons of wonderful stretch. Feeling really great, really focusing on that openness. Oh look, what a great opportunity to have a little sip of whatever you're sipping on. If you do want to transition this into more restorative, using props and blocks is what helps. So even if you want to rest your head on a block, and sometimes that feels really good. Helps kind of release through the spine a little bit. As you're settling into this pose, you can bring the knee up more, if that feels good, or you can start to extend through the leg kicking that heel out a little bit more. So still trying to melt in towards the mat. But as you find your openness, you can kind of come into a half wide-legged split. Just playing around a little bit. This pose I really like in a restorative class with a bolster, kind of on the ribs, on those low ribs. I'm just going to extend this for a little more. Oh, there's the money. Yeah. At some point, I just find this point where the muscle wants to release. And I've got to kind of push it into that, and it feels great. But that's me listening to my own body. So listening to your body, finding that release for you. Beautiful. With Fridays, this is my third yoga class of the day, so I'm usually pretty open by the end of it. I also spent a good 4-ish hours cleaning, so I was pretty active all day long. All right, let's start to tuck that foot back in. Maybe just bring a bend to the knee. Maybe you can walk that foot back in. I feel like I could have spent another 2 or 3 minutes there, but I won't torture you all if you don't got those nice open external hips. And let's give that back a nice little break. So let's roll down, coming all the way down. You can plant maybe your cheek down, looking towards one side. Maybe that feels a little better. See if on that exhale, you can release any little bit of tension that you're feeling. Noticing that low back release, letting the glutes be nice and soft, legs are like jelly. There's no tension anywhere. It just feels really good. Beautiful. If you want, you can bend through those knees and release. If that helps your low back, that helps the legs or the hips. Lower the feet back down. Excellent. Maybe this time you want to bring the legs a little bit wider, feeling a little bit more of that relaxing. If you want more of a challenge, bring the feet closer together. You can always adjust them as you need to. Tuck those elbows back underneath the shoulders. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Lift through the heart. Find that extra bit of length. Maybe start to create that little pull sensation through the hands as you press the palms in. Tons of length happening here. Nice big inhale. Nice full exhale. Press into that pelvis. See how that shifts stuff from the middle of the back, feeling it there. Maybe that's where you're compensating from. And as you press into the pelvis, you find a little more strength, a little more stability. Let's bring that knee out towards the left. Nice little wiggle. So maybe your foot is quite down. Maybe you've got that 90 degree happening. And take a couple of moments here. Like find your edge first. Maybe that knee comes up a little higher. But before you extend the leg long, let's take some time to really focus on the left hip. Trying to find that balance. Trying to let it melt inward. I'm feeling a little pull on my right side. That's all normal. Excellent. You can use your block under your chin, under your head. Still make sure those shoulders are drawing away from the ears. I'm not doing the block as much tonight. It doesn't feel as restorative as I want. I like that little engagement through the neck. Maybe that's just my busy mind going. Beautiful. Right? As you're settling in and starting to feel some openness, maybe you start to extend that left leg. I can never quite come far enough away from this wall. I even moved my mat another couple of inches, but I didn't think about my foot. I thought about my arms. That's okay. That's cool getting that little bit of feedback. Finding your length, finding your depth. Feeling that openness, trying to stay soft through all of your muscles, not holding on any of your tension. If you're wondering what's happening in these pots that have appeared over the last couple of days, we're growing cucumbers this year. And so we had them as little seedlings on the table, and it was time for them to make their way into the pots. And they're so happy here. They're getting that little third leaf, which is apparently a good sign for them. And fresh cucumbers are just oh so good. They're almost as good as the tomatoes. You know when you get that first tomato off the vine, it has like 4 times as much flavor as the grocery store ones? Yeah, something really satisfying about little cucumbers. Just homegrown food. It was wonderful. If I could have just a giant garden, I totally would. I need to learn a little bit more about gardening, but I'm hoping to this summer. All right, one more nice inhale. Roll the shoulders back. Are you hunching into them? Exhale, soften. Be as gentle as you can on yourself here. And then ever so slowly, let's start to bring a bend back to that foot if it's extended long. I feel like I could watch TV here this evening. I feel like I could just hang out in this position the entire time. That feels real great. All right, bringing that foot back in. And nice and slow. So we've done a lot of back bending here. Maybe your back's not used to all of that bend the other way, but I figured since odds are we sit a whole bunch right now, a little back bend would be good to counter some of that. So let's come down nice and slow. Maybe just walk the elbows out. Maybe you come down a little more. And a little more. You're going to look to the other side, planting the opposite cheek in as you come all the way down. Feel that nice release. I feel like if I look that way, you guys can't hear me as well because I don't have a mic on. Letting it feel just nice and wonderful. All kinds of stretchy. Beautiful. You can bend through the knees. Feel that release through the hips. You guys can't see it because my dog is laying just off screen, but she's currently sleeping with one eye open. It's super creepy, but she's so cute at the same time. Must be a little mummy's love, the human's love. All right, let's release the feet down. And let's start to come out of this nice front position. Actually, let's take a little stretch here first. Let's reach those arms forward. Drop forehead down to the ground. Create that nice little pull through the hands. Feel that stretch through the shoulders. Feels oh so good. And start to release, relax. Bring those hands under the shoulders. And I like to tuck my toes under here, but really we're just pressing all the way up and back through that nice tabletop position. Then start to sit back on the feet, coming to that nice child's pose. Maybe your hips are up nice and high. Maybe they sink back down towards the heels. Maybe the arms extend long or reach back. Maybe knees are close together or far apart and open. Just starting to feel into this pose where you want to be. I want my knees open a little more, so we'll adjust. That's okay. Feeling that nice release through the spine. Relaxing it down. Nice big inhale. Nice full exhale. All right, let's press into those hands. Start to come up. And make your way into that nice reclined position. So maybe you want to scooch around. Drop the hips. Lay it down. I love this after back bends, taking a child's pose and then coming onto the back, because as I roll down, I can feel my back adjusting, my spine kind of moving and settling in. Roll those shoulders back and down. Slight tuck in the chin. Say hello, length. Let's find you this evening. Feeling that middle of the spine pressing in. See if you can press that lower spine and those hips in, and press those shoulders in as well. So all of the spine is really active, pressing downwards in towards the mat. You can even notice with my feet here, I'm pressing into my heels a little bit extra just to really press that low back in more. My belly button draws inward, and we'll relax and soften, releasing all of that down. Beautiful. I just had a plan. I forgot it. Let's bring the feet just a touch wider. Let's bring those arms up overhead, interlace, coming into those nice box arms, trying to find that openness through the arms and having the arms completely touching down and towards the floor. A nice lift through the chest. And drop the legs down towards the right side. So I'm not moving the feet here. My feet are still nice and wide. Knees are just starting to fall towards the right. I'm getting a little bit of a twist, but I'm also getting internal rotation of that left hip and external rotation of the right hip. And so coming down as far as possible. Maybe that knee, that left knee connects it with the right foot, or maybe there's a little bit of space there. You're welcome to use your block to prop up any space if that doesn't feel good. Or you can let gravity pull in nice and heavy to get a little more of that internal rotation. Excellent. Trying to settle in. Imagining both sits bones trying to press in towards the mat. See if you can relax that left side enough to let it soften, to let it sink in a little bit. Beautiful. Feeling that. I'm feeling that tons through that right hip. But I've got that natural external rotation, so maybe you feel that more through the other hip. Nice big inhale. Nice soft big exhale. Beautiful. If you have any props or blocks, start to release them. Start to slowly press those knees back up, pressing into the feet. Spine is in that nice neutral position. Let's release the hands, interlace in the opposite way, feeling like that nice awkward handshake. Settling in, feeling that low back, taking a moment here, pressing in to that low back, really trying to have it connect each vertebrae in with the mat. Pressing into those shoulders. Maybe you press extra into the heels. Maybe that tailbone just floats off ever so slightly. Belly button pulls into the core. And exhale, soften and melt everything back in towards the mat. And drop the knees so feet stay nice and wide. Knees just fall over towards the other side. Towards the left. Getting now that nice internal rotation of that right knee as it falls inward. Left knee falls outward for that external rotation. Still trying to feel those sits bones, those hips melting in towards the mat. Yeah, so this is definitely my tight side. I've got a lot of space underneath this right hip. That's okay. You can add a little prop there. And if it's not feeling good, if you're getting too much pull, or maybe you need it underneath that right knee. So you feel free to use your blocks. They're definitely a great tool in yoga. Just bringing the ground closer in some areas just to get that feedback. Making it a little more gentle on the body. Or as you get that feedback, then you can still correctively come into that alignment. That can be maybe a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper. It's kind of neat. I really like that. And like extended side ankle, where you can press your hand over in triangle and you can't quite reach the ground, so you grab a block and then, oh look, your shoulders stack ever so nicely. All right, nice big inhale. Nice full exhale, let it go. Feel that softness, feel that release. Oh, my doggy just did it too. Big exhale. All right, let's start to come out of this nice and gentle. Starting to press into those feet, swinging those knees up nice and slow. Feeling that nice connection all the way through. Excellent. Take a little moment and hug the knees in towards the chest. Feeling that low back press in. Make that nice little rock from side to side. Look at that. I did a whole class without a single standing pose. No downward dog. I feel like that's a little achievement for me. I always like to get going and get pumping. This was great though. Great Friday night class. All right, let's find that stillness. I'm going to sneak in one little twist here as we go, but I really want the pigeon twist. So let's go for it. Let's plant those feet in towards the mat. I'm taking the right ankle onto left knee, coming into that nice figure four position. Maybe you find that nice openness. Oh, that feels great. Sending the right knee backwards, getting a nice stretch through that IT band, the side of the hip. Feels oh so good. Beautiful. Okay, relax through that hip, through the leg. Maybe shake it out a little bit. And then start to float the left leg up, pulling both legs in towards the body. So you can reach for the foot and the knee. You can reach through the little hole that you've created, reaching for the thigh, rolling that head back down. You can take a little rock from side to side, or just enjoy the stillness. Try not to squeeze too much through the shoulder blades. See if you can keep the shoulders relaxed. Just enough tension to hold those legs into place, pulling them in towards the body. Feeling this stretch a little bit more through the hamstring, through the glute, maybe a little bit into the low back, right through that piriformis muscle. Excellent. If you want it, left foot can go up towards the ceiling. Still pulling the legs inward, so foot does not have to be perfectly 90 degrees. It can come in to get more of that stretch. Beautiful. Let's release the foot back down. Release the arms, keeping the legs as they are. Reach out nice and tall like a T. Arms go out to the sides and drop the legs towards the left. Coming into a nice twist for the spine. You can just plant that right foot in, keeping right knee up, getting a little more stretch through the hip. Or you can start to bring that knee down, rolling more onto the left side, getting more stretch through the spine. Maybe left hand comes up on top. Maybe gaze goes towards the right. Just find that sweet spot. Let it feel oh so good for you. Nice big inhale. Nice full exhale. Let it go. Release the hand. Bring the head back to neutral. And start to press in, bringing those legs up. And uncrossing them if you haven't done so yet. And coming into the other side. Left ankle on top of right knee. Open up, send that left knee back, back, back. Feel that huge stretch through the left side of the body. Excellent. We'll release that. Be nice and soft. Maybe shake it out here. Give a little wiggle through the hips. And then start to float right leg up. Reach on through. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Let it feel just great. Feel that nice stretch through that left hip. Maybe you rock from side to side. Maybe you pull the legs in a little more. Find that nice sweet spot. Find that edge or it might be a little challenging, might not be as sweet as it could be, but you're working, feeling that length. Maybe those right toes go up. They don't have to be perfectly straight towards the ceiling. That foot can come in if you want more of that stretch. Beautiful. Oh, feels so good. Excellent. One more nice big inhale. And exhale. Bring a bend back to that right knee. If it's still floating in the air. Let's release the hands, keeping the feet in that same position. Reach the arms out to a T. Nice and wide. And drop the legs down towards the right. Maybe you plant that left foot in, getting more of that stretch through the hip. Maybe that knee falls down, twisting more onto that right side, getting more of a twist. Perhaps the gaze goes towards the left. Connecting in with the breath, feeling all of that length through the spine. Can you believe it's 9 o'clock and look how bright it is outside? This is just beautiful. I love summertime. This is so good. It's been fun doing class at 8 o'clock every day because I've noticed just the change in the light. How it's becoming lighter and lighter, later and later. All right, let's release your hands on top of that knee. Let it go. Bring that neck back up towards neutral. And slowly start to uncross the legs. Beautiful. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Oh, feels really good. If you want, reach through for that good old happy baby finish. Grabbing onto the feet wherever you feel like grabbing them. Or behind the knees. Pull the knees in towards the body. Feet go up. Playing around, rocking from side to side, or extending legs long, or pulling into the feet, resetting that spine. Let yourself feel real good. Connecting in with that breath. And then the freestyle portion of our class. So if there's another pose or movement your body is craving, listen to your body, give it what it wants. You might as well take a couple of moments. I'm wanting that supported waterfall, so I've got my block, pressing into the feet, tucking it into that small of the back area. Bringing knees up and feet up. Just hanging out here. Maybe you just want supported bridge. Maybe you want, I don't know, a standing posture. Maybe you want standing wide-legged forward fold. Letting it feel real good. Maybe you just want to settle into your Shavasana and take a couple of nice big breaths there. I just like to play around a little bit in my class at the end of it. Mostly because I think yoga is about listening to your body or becoming in tune with your body. And so if you never take time to listen to what movement it might be needing, then how are you supposed to know that? Maybe you just got to play around. When was the last time you were actually playful? You don't have to listen to my instructions perfectly or even at all. You can do whatever you want. This is your class. All right, I will leave you here this evening or this day, whenever you're watching it. And so I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope that you can take some time to breathe, to connect in with the breath, to reflect on your practice, to reflect on anything you might need to, taking some time to be in the present moment. Oh, feels great. So good. All right, roll it down. Beautiful. All right, enjoy your time in your Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. Whether you're just going to lay here for a couple of moments, maybe resist the temptation to scroll through your phone, or maybe that's what you need. You haven't had much downtime today. Take some time for you, for your practice, for your yoga journey. Let it be just wonderful. I hope you have just a beautiful rest of your evening. I hope that every moment is filled with joy. and that you are always blessed. Thank you for joining me, and namaste. Beautiful.